So I spent over the weekend for this job, I spent it getting some material to fix that foundation wall. And so far, this is the toughest thing to find, is these big concrete screws, these masonry screws. And Simpson Strong Tie, not available anywhere near me. You'd have to order them online. They're like $20 each. So check this out. I found DeWalt brand. I need 22 of them. This is a box of 25. I paid $10 each. Let's see if we can zoom in here. See it, 1/2 inch by 8. So these are the screws. So I just came back from the township, and that plan I showed you in my last video of how we're going to fix the wall, this township requires that to be sealed by a structural engineer. So my structural engineer is working on that. He said it's going to take a couple of days, 2-3 days. So I'm on hold here. But at least I got these screws. I was a little worried about it. So now I'm just waiting on the plans. Also got some 20-foot rebar, because that wall is about 18 foot 1 inches wide. So I got the 20 footers. This way I can do one piece across. They shoot all the way over there. So I got all this material, now I'm on hold. I mean, what are you gonna do, right? So our plan here is to come out 8 inches from that block wall with concrete. So that's considered a veneer. Even though it's underground, it's gonna be underground. It's considered a veneer, so that's why they want sealed plans from a structural engineer. So I think today I'm just gonna go down and draw out my layout on the wall where everything's gonna go. I just can't do the work yet, but at least I can draw it out and know where I'm drilling. Show you my pencil line here. So we go from nothing. See, we're level there. We go from nothing to about 4 inches. Sheesh. Let's go try it. Try it with a tape measure. I mean, these should be 8-inch block. Should be 4 inches. So we're a little under 4 inches to nothing. That's crazy. I just drew a pencil line down. Like I said, they must have had a terrible time here. No guidance, no direction, no ability to read a level or tape measure, square. All right, so that's what I got there. At least I got my level line. With a start there. He wants the Tapcons here. Wants me to start here, skip 16 inches here, skip 16 inches here. Something like that. Let me see here. No, actually, he doesn't want me in the top block. He wants me to start here. So then we go from there to 16 inches, which will be here. And then we got to go another 16 from there, which will be there. That'll be the third row of Tapcons. So I'm just going to mark it out today. Put myself some dots. And whenever I get the go-ahead, then I can start drilling. But look at this. I noticed this too. They didn't even tie the chimney in. I don't know if you can see it. Those blocks just go right past. Nothing's tied in here. Oh, that's probably what that cement's about there. To hide all the shame of the nonsense that went on here. All this should be tied in. It should be toothed in, tied in. I mean, you don't want the chimney falling and separating. Everything should be tied in. I don't know. That's what I would think anyway. And look down there. It looks like they did some fakers down there They're not. That's not even block there. That's just some cement somebody did. All right, let me focus. Get back to this. So while I'm there, I'm going to get out and back up so I can show you my layout, where the Tapcons are going, how I stagger them. Well, you can kind of see it from here. See how they're staggered? But while we're down here, I want to show you something. This is how I believe the house was built. They poured some slop. They laid their block, okay? They put a couple of J-bolts in, right? And then they put caps. The J-bolts only went to the top of the caps. These J-bolts were never meant to fasten down the framing plate. There's one here, and there's one over here. That's all you had. And all that did was, that was in between the joints of the caps. So then they framed the house, okay, on top of it. They probably put a few nails into the caps. They framed the house, and they had that black exterior drywall out here. It's not here anymore because I removed it. But they had that black exterior drywall out here. Then they insulated the house. And here's how you can see. See, the insulation is actually in the concrete. I mean, I didn't do this. This is old, and it's literally poured into the concrete. It's all the way across, so you can see it. So they must have been like, let's just frame the whole house out. We'll get the whole house framed out. We'll get all the subfloors in. Then they decided to pour this concrete. And then they realized, well, wait a minute, we're going to have to come up higher because we didn't get our levels right. I mean, look how low this is. So you had the 4-inch caps right about here. You see what I'm saying? This is not supposed to be underground like this. That's how wood rots. That's what happened here. So they must have put some stone in there. They backfilled, they put some stone. Then they poured the concrete, and the concrete went totally around the bottom of the framing. As you can see, here's a stud pack right here, and their plate was here, and it was all underground and under the concrete. See it? I know people are saying, somebody came along later and did it. Well, there's a bathroom in here. There's a family room in there. They're saying, there were probably dirt floors for years, and then somebody later on decided to pour concrete. Nah. I'm sure there was no dirt floor in a family room. So we got this over here. So all this wood was down lower than the grade. So here's that wire again. I think it's some kind of intercom wire. I mean, somebody really got carried away and put it into the framing. And they put this stick here. I don't know why the stick is there. I guess to run this, I don't know, man. Somebody had an idea. It's all behind the chimney. And you know, this chimney was done in '69, so that wire must have been done in '69 also. I'm thinking now I might have to take this off under the door. Just get it out of there. I'm gonna need room. My forms are only coming out 8 inches. I gotta be able to fit a chute in there and get the concrete down in the hole, unless I'm doing it with buckets again. I know people get triggered over buckets, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I've been doing buckets for years. The jobs I usually go on, nightmare jobs. You ain't getting no truck in there. You know, you gotta hand mix it, or you mix it in a pan with a hoe. All right, that's enough. That's enough ranting. Just show you what I got here. Let me back up out of the hole and I'll show you this. I'm probably not gonna have another video on this until either the end of the week or next week, because I gotta wait now. I gotta wait for those sealed plans. Oh man, that's not good. Probably gonna have to take that out of there and let the concrete go. I gotta vibrate the concrete in there. He wants me to vibrate, you know, I'll get 24 inches in all the way across, and then I'll vibrate it for no more than 45 seconds all the way across. Then put another 2 foot in, vibrate it no more than 45 seconds all the way across. And do it every 2 foot. I only got about 7 feet here, a little less than 7 feet. I'm hoping not to get a bunch of voids. I got the plywood, I got all the lumber already. I'm not going to put it together in case something goes wrong with this plan and I can't do it. I'll be able to take that stuff back, hopefully. All right, so here we go. Now you can see the stagger action. I had to avoid that step crack too. That's circus. I got a plan for that, but I got to wait a little while. Right before I do my forms and the rebar and such. So these verticals here are going to be 32 inches on center, so they're 32 inches apart. And then the horizontal across are going to be 16 on center. So that's what we got here. So I got 10 20-foot bars. I should have enough. I'm probably going to try to get one up in there. And that beam there, I can guarantee you right now that beam, I'm going to somehow have to do a joint there because that beam is going to crack. There's going to be a hairline fracture. There's no getting away from it because of that stupid idea there somebody had. But I have to deal with it. It's there. I can't move it. I'd have to take the whole house down to move it. So I'm going to have a hairline banger right there. There's nothing you can do about it. Even if I box that out and come around it with a form, it doesn't matter. It'll still crack. It's just the way it is. So sometimes you just got to deal with it. You just got to deal with it.